Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining today's IC Realtime webinar. In today's webinar, we will be discussing IC Realtime NEMA Icebox solution. This is an all-in-one recorder and camera solution with the ability to give you recordings as well as coverage in areas that you wouldn't normally be able to have that with both power and data solutions. I have muted everyone's microphone at the moment, but I will unmute everyone's microphone at the end of the webinar to field any questions anyone might have. My name is Michael Caballero. I'm one of the national sales executives here at IC Realtime, and let's get started. So like I mentioned, we're going to be talking about some of the assets of IC Realtime's NEMA Icebox solution. So a couple things we're going to talk about here, things like construction theft and vandalism impacts. So as you might know, construction professionals continue to see increasing losses resulting from theft and vandalism on some of their sites. And what happens here is that you have costly bill delays with financial penalties, downtime for workforce, increased or cancellation of insurance premiums, along with chances of loss of investors, bonding, or borrowing power. So this is a useful asset to have at something like a construction site. One of the things we promote here with IC Realtime NEMA Icebox Solutions is having that ability to offer these to builders in your area. You can even lease these out or rent them out and have them utilize them on a build. Once that build is complete, they can either return them or they can move them to the next job site. So IC Realtime's NEMA Icebox is a great asset for construction, for vandalism and theft. Now it is a gridless solution, so it's really designed for where no electronics were really never meant to be. So like our aforementioned construction sites, but also concerts and festivals, HOA backgates, light and utility poles, storage yards, wild and woodland and farms, law enforcement, retail parking lots, along with parks, trails, and baseball fields. These are 100% portable and easy to install. The NEMA Icebox is perfect for those who travel from site to site regularly and need security that is quick to set up and does not require power or internet. As I said, we have solutions for both of those, and mounting these is extremely simple. We give you everything you need in terms of having the ability to strap this to a pole, strap this to a tree, amongst other things that you can strap them to. So what does it provide you? It provides you security anywhere you need it. You're going to get instant push notifications from your mobile device. So if you have ICRSS Pro, along with your cameras and recorders, and you have either a data connection coming from some of our Ubiquiti offerings or a cellular connection, you'll be able to view those sites remotely and check in from time to time. These will work in corrosive environments and hotspot applications. Rapid deployment installations, along with our capabilities with our Cradlepoint routers. You're going to get remote wireless and LAN Wi-Fi for equipment installations, indoor and outdoor installations, protection of equipment from theft or damage, and also functions in cold environments or hot environments with the installed heater and cooler solutions. Now, these are custom built from the ground up. So it's a NEMA type 3R or 3RX. It is IP24 rated, aluminum mounting plate with surge protected 120 volt AC outlets and solid state control heating systems. They're fully gasketed, vented, lid with stainless steel quick release latches with padlock hasps, molded fiberglass reinforced polyester industrial enclosure. So you have a few options here. While I take a moment to take advantage of this image we have on screen here. This is our NEMA Icebox solution in Boston Harbor. We have a Ubiquiti point-to-point wireless antenna beaming back across the harbor to the head end where the recorder is, and that is what is giving the data capability here on this NEMA Icebox. Now, as you can see here, you can mount your cameras directly to the NEMA Icebox, or you can run conduit from that NEMA Icebox over to where you need that camera position. So you have a couple of different solutions. You can mount straight to the box, or you can run that, again, through conduit to any location that you need. Now, when it comes to powering your NEMA Icebox, You have plug and play capability. Once you do have power provided to the box, you have a 120 volt duplex to protect the enclosure from the elements, along with dual solid state control cooling fans to counter heat buildup from the electronics. Now, as you can see here, we designed this system with our recorder in mind. So this is running our MX recorder, either MX08 or MX16 NVR. Now with that, you're going to have all of your storage solutions. You're going to have all of your I/O available to you as well. So USB ports will be available to you if you need to configure directly on the recorder. Now, along with this, these recorders do have internal PoE switches. So with those internal PoE switches, you're going to be able to power your cameras directly from the recorder. You won't need a separate power source for your cameras individually. You'll power them right off the recorder. So as long as the recorder is being powered with that AC outlet, your cameras will be powered with that AC outlet as well. Now, we do have complete wireless solutions as well, like I mentioned. Now, we have a couple of different solutions. First is going to be our Ubiquiti point-to-point wireless antennas. We have a couple of different specs on these. You can use direct point-to-point using 2 Ubiquiti nano beams. You can use this with an omnidirectional antenna if you have multiple NEMA icebox deployments in the same area with a specific head end that you want to return that data to with your omnidirectional antenna. So there's a few different ways you can configure your Ubiquiti solutions. The distances with these Ubiquiti antennas between 5 and 10 miles are not an issue in most instances. Now, with that, you'll be able to power not only your Ubiquiti antennas, you'll be able to power your cameras as well using either an external PoE switch or the internal PoE switch coming from the recorder. Now, along with that, you'll have your M2M RUT240. That is a cradle point router with Vorizon Wireless. We are a Verizon Wireless Platinum partner, and that's going to give you a few options that you would not get if you weren't a Platinum partner. You're going to be able to only have 1 down payment instead of 2 down payments. You're going to be able to have I apologize here. You're going to be able to have a dedicated upload. You're also going to be able to have a static IP address. So those are some of the options that will be available to you if you're using that Verizon Cradlepoint router. Now, a couple of things about that Cradlepoint router is it also has wireless as well, Wi-Fi. That's a great solution for you, as that gives you the ability with that Wi-Fi to mount those NEMA ice boxes high up on a pole. And then when you walk up to that pole, you won't need a bucket truck or anything to get you up there to configure the recorder or pull footage. You'll simply join the Wi-Fi with your laptop, open up Smart ICRSS, and you'll be able to then live view and play back video directly at the box without having to need an ability to access that box, especially if it's mounted up high on a pole. The router also has an embedded firewall for enhanced security. It has VPN options. So with that VPN option, that's going to give you the ability to have encrypted, protected connectivity to that recorder, both locally and remotely. And of course, it's all backed by IC Realtime's fantastic tech support. Now, if you need power, we have a solution for that as well. So we have complete solar solutions here. These are turnkey solutions with our partner Vorp Energy. All we need is a bit of information. What's going to be the draw of all of the devices that you have in that NEMA box, the location that you're in the United States. And with that information, we'll be able to get you a quote for a full all-in-one NEMA solution. Now, it may come without a pole. There are some of the solutions that don't come without a pole, and you'll have to provide that yourself. Or if you want to go with a more higher standard solar solution, you can get one of the turnkey trailer solutions as well. This is going to give you the ability to have power both day and night, and we configure those, again, turnkey solutions for you when you're looking for that NEMA Icebox solution. Now, it is protected from all the elements. Like we mentioned, you have your 18 by 16 by 8 molded fiberglass reinforced polyester. Again, it's fully gasketed, NEMA type 3R, 3RX, dual fan cooling, as well as heating. your solid state thermal fan, like we mentioned, and that 120-volt surge duplex outlet, all protected from the elements. Now we have two sizes here to accommodate you. We have a small NEMA icebox, allows for multiple camera locations on buildings and pole solutions. And then we have that large NEMA icebox. Again, allows for multiple locations with a recorder and a 7-inch monitor if you need that. Considering that 7-inch monitor, you may want to keep in mind that if you're going to use that monitor, you want to bring have that box mounted low where you can access that monitor. If that monitor is if that NEMA icebox is mounted higher up, you may not be able to utilize that 7-inch monitor. And again, that's where the Wi-Fi connectivity comes into play, where if you have a wireless router or you're using our cradle point router, you'll have the ability to walk up to that pole and simply join that Wi-Fi and connect to your recorder and cameras. Now, compatibility with the NEMA icebox solutions. Like I mentioned, you're going to be able to mount either directly to the box. You can mount PTZs, you can mount dome cameras, turrets, bullets. It really doesn't make a difference. You can mount basically anything you want to that box. And then you can also run conduit and run these cameras to their specific locations where necessary. So you have really both options available to you with that NEMA icebox. And here we have full night vision coverage. As you can see here, we have a full NEMA box solution with multiple PTZs with a solar trailer. So you've got full power along with full connectivity. And then of course, with our cameras, you can either have starlight functionality for color at nighttime. As you can see here, this parking lot is well lit. As long as you have that kind of ambient lighting, you're going to have full color at nighttime with starlight. If you don't have that ambient lighting and you still need color at nighttime, you should have our soft white light cameras available to you as well. Now here we have functional concealment as well. With these NEMA ice boxes, along with our IC Realtime cameras, we have hydro dip solutions available where you can hydro dip your camera and with almost any color or camouflage like you see here. You can also hydro dip the NEMA ice box. And what we have here is a solution where it was a construction site. They wanted to hide the NEMA box solution along with that camera. So they hydro dipped them in a camouflage solution. They mounted them to a tree here, and they monitored the construction site with full concealment. So once the construction site was complete, they had full coverage. They can do time-lapse video. And once that construction is finished, they can take that NEMA icebox down, move it to the next site, and reinstall it where they need it. You can also have it as a visible deterrent on the opposite side of the spectrum here. So as we see here, we have a full NEMA icebox solution. We have it conduited to the PTZ above the NEMA icebox solution. This is strapped directly to a flat pole. So of course, if you just want to have people see those cameras and act as a deterrent, you can do that as well. We have a matching junction box for the NEMA icebox. That is generally for your PTZs to hide all of your cabling into that fairly large junction box. So full visual deterrency from our NEMA icebox solutions as well. So you can conceal them or you can have them out in the open to be used as a deterrent. So as you know, it's our business to solve your toughest challenges. We're called IC Realtime Security Solutions for a reason. Contact your IC Realtime sales rep or your local distributor for more information. Now we've got a new interface here for our webinars. As you can see, I don't have to allow you guys in anymore. You guys can come in at your leisure and I don't have to pause. That's why you didn't hear that usual pause to let you guys know that we had to deal with Zoom security measures. We also have a Q&A tab as well. So you don't have to go to the More tab anymore. You don't have to go to chat and drop your questions in there. You can drop your questions into the Q&A and I'll be more than happy to answer those questions. So first question here from Samantha, are there any scenarios that that range would be an issue with NEMA? Not necessarily, of course, if, ideally you would want to utilize a Ubiquiti point-to-point. The reason for that is you have no data cap when it comes to Ubiquiti point-to-point. antennas. You have a location where you have a head-end, and it becomes a full network when you're using those Ubiquiti point-to-point antennas. It's as if those cameras were on the local area network directly. It's just using a wireless bridge. Of course, there are limitations to the distances of those wireless bridges. It is a large distance, of course, but you may need something further out, or you may not have a head end to run those Ubiquiti solutions back to. Also, it's a line of sight solution. So if you don't have that line of sight, you're going to have limitations when it comes to Ubiquiti. And that's why we bring in the Cradle Point Router. Cradle Point Router is going to allow you to use cellular connectivity, so you don't need a location to beam any data back to. It's its own solution. But even then, it does have a data cap with the cellular connectivity, and there are overage charges for that. So you want to make sure that when you're using Ubiquiti or you're using your cellular connectivity with Verizon, then you are paying attention to how long you are viewing these cameras. This is really to take a look at your cameras and then log out of the system. And really, ideally, what you'll want to do, so you're not constantly checking on those cameras, is utilize our suite of analytics like our IND solutions as well as our perimeter protection solutions. So that way, if someone does appear on site or a vehicle does appear on site, you're going to receive those notifications, and then you can check in and view your cameras and see what's going on. I don't recommend this for playback either, because of course, playback takes time. And of course, as the more time you spend inside that Cradle Point router, of course, the more time, the more data that you're using up, and you may hit some of those data caps. All right, and it looks like no one else has any questions at this time. Well, thank you very much, everyone, for joining us on today's IC Realtime webinar. My name is Michael Caballero. I'm one of the National Sales Executives here at IC Realtime. Have a fantastic weekend and stay safe.